Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I've brought you to this area quite close to my home. It is one of my favorite areas to go after maybe working all day, or maybe on a weekend if it's been dull in the morning like today and then it turns nice. Then this is a quick place to get away. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit about finding macro subjects today, as well as giving you or showing you how I do handheld macro. I know a lot of people like to use a monopod or a tripod, and it's great if they can do that. I can't do that. I find myself too constricted, so I'm going to show you my technique. But remember, there is no right or wrong with photography. Whatever works for you is what you should do. You shouldn't do something just because somebody else says this is what you need to do. So with that, I'll come to this area, as I said, and as I showed you, it's a huge area of wildflowers, and we have these things which are called cow parsley, which are great for attracting insects. You've got to be a little bit careful with the highlights on those, and as you can also see around me, there is a lot of buttercups, and they're also very, very shiny, so they can be quite tricky if the sun is very bright. So we're going to see if we can deal with that, and we're just going to really walk around, see if we can find some interesting subjects, film them a little bit, try and get some good pictures, and generally just have a nice, fun and relaxing time, which is what macro should be all about. So come along, join me and enjoy the journey. Yes, so now it's just a matter of trying to find some subjects in this. I see quite a few bees around, so I'm going to hope to get some shots. The wind, as you can see, can make it quite difficult because they're on top of the cow parsley, because that's where the flowers are, and sometimes that goes all over the place. So let's see if we can find one that sits a little bit still, if nothing else. We have no chance with the current thing to do any kind of focus stacking. I don't like to do handheld focus stacking, but that's a personal thing, because I sit enough in front of computers. I don't want to spend oodles of time stacking images and fixing stuff. But let's see, here is a bee. See if we can get some shots of it. If you have these kind of wildflower fields around you, count yourself really lucky, because there's such a haven for different insects throughout the insect season, i.e. summer. And it's worth visiting them time and time and time again, because you'll see different insects just about every time. Of course, you'll see a lot of the same ones as well, but you will see loads of different ones as the season progresses. Different insects have their time of the season. So with these tall stalks of the cow parsley, the technique I'm trying to use in order to hold the camera steady is simply to tuck the arm against the body like this and then hold the camera, because that gives it a bit extra support. And then as I move in and out, I just kind of simply rock my body back and forth, and that allows my shots to become quite stable. I have to say, I thought it was going to be a little bit more quiet here, but I am very, very mistaken. Quiet in terms of the wind, that is. It's quite windy here, so which makes it very difficult to get any good shots and any good footage. I think I'm going to have to find a quieter area than this, see if I can find somewhere that's a bit more sheltered. So it's a bit more quiet here because there is a bit of a forest cover on that side and the wind is coming that way, so hopefully we'll be able to get some shots. There's a big fat fly, but I'm not that keen on photographing flies, in fairness. So this is a quieter area, certainly. We do have some buttercups here, so apologies about the shouting in the background, but there's a cricket pitch on the other side of the trees that you can't see over there, and they're doing the Saturday cricket at the moment, so there might be some excited shouts. Anyway, I was going to say we are by some buttercups, and it gives me the opportunity at least to explain a little bit about being careful when the sun is this bright, because if I show you through the film camera now, say this one here, I'm going to go low, and then I'm going to okay, so here is a lovely little buttercup fluttering in the wind, but you can see the bright spots on it, and those are very difficult to get rid of when we have such strong sun. So really the key is to know where the sun is, and the sun is over there. So if I find a different one and I can use myself as the shade and then film it. So there is the buttercup in shade, and now we have no hotspots, which is great. So now all we need to do is add a little bit of flash, and then we should be fine. So let me take that picture now of this buttercup with a little bit of flash. There you go. So now we've taken a shiny buttercup and we made it into a nice yellow image with a bit of flash. And this is kind of the technique that you need to use on really bright days. You need to find something to shade with. You can use yourself. Probably slightly better is if you have some sort of diffuser and stuff like that, but I really don't like traveling with more equipment than I absolutely need. and especially when I'm just doing nice relaxing macro. So the deal is either to find subjects that don't react quite as harshly to the sun as buttercups and beetles with their shiny shells and subjects like that, or you can try and use yourself as the shield against the sun to protect against the highlights, and then use the flash to still get the correct exposure. Also, somebody was commenting in one of my comments about this thing here, because a lot of flashes come with some sort of cup, and I'll get it a little closer to the camera now, so that you can see. This is a homemade one. I talked about it in a different video. This is just a milk bottle. In the UK they're plastic, so I cut out and I just put some gaffer tape around it to make sure that it is secured in place. But the trick, and you can use this trick whether you got a self-made or a store-bought one, the trick is that I've put in first this kind of paper as a diffuser, so that goes on first, and then I just have a regular bit of a kitchen towel that I've also added to add to the diffusion that comes out of the flash, basically reduce the harshness of the light. And then I can put it on like that, and as you can see, it stays on, it's perfectly fine. And yeah, that helps me. So if that's a tip that you like, then great. I mean, you can do this with any kind of diffuser you want. You just cut out little bits of paper to reduce the harshness if you don't like the highlights that it gives you. So give that a go and see, maybe it'll save you some money in the end, just by cutting out pieces of kitchen towel. But let's get on, let's see if we can find some, oh, there is a dragonfly and it's flying over there. I have no chance of catching it with this unless I can figure out where it perches, but let's leave that for now, because that might be a lengthy process. But we'll go a little bit further along here and see if we can find some more subjects. It's one of those bees, or sorry, flies, that pretend to be bees. They're kind of cool. I brought the camera a little low for this one because I am going to be sitting down. So I wanted to show you one final little tip in terms of holding the camera. And I was hoping I'd be able to find some nice subjects among these thistles, but I am not able to. This is a technique for holding the camera steady that is favoured, I think, by a lot of wildlife photographers, in that you have one knee on the ground like this, the other knee is up, and then you place your arm somewhere along here, and then you hold the camera like that. This allows you to keep your body quite, or the camera quite steady. You see how I'm leaning in? So if I now turn on the film mode here, so there we go, there's a little buttercup, and we can zoom in like that, you see? The camera is barely moving. The buttercup is because it's a lot of wind at the moment, but I can zoom in and out like that, and I'm still able to hold it quite steady. Boy, that was a lot of bees, wasn't it? There are usually a lot more different species, but I think because of the wind, because a lot of them tend to climb up on the grass and the cow parsley and what have you, and because of the wind they're just being blown all over the place, so they tend to want to stay quite far down into the dense grass, where it clearly is quieter, but it's also absolutely impossible to get some good shots of them. So we're at crossroads here, and that's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed the images and the footage that I've shown you, and I'm hoping that you've enjoyed also the few tips that I've given you throughout this. I saw the dragonfly perch, but I could not get anywhere near it because it was sitting quite far back in sort of dense shrubs like we have along here, so it was not possible to get any good shots of it, sadly. But there will be opportunities for dragonflies later, and I am definitely going to take you on a walk where we're going to go and capture them in flight, so look out for that video. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and yeah, as always, take care of yourselves, enjoy your photography. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now. Bye bye.